Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with Overwatch. And guys, gonna say no, there was going to be a video out tomorrow. That video's now had to be postponed because when filming it, I was like, I don't know what got me to double check, but I was like, I've had recent audio problems with videos basically cutting halfway through. Part 1 of GTA Heist, which I kinda had to just deal with. It was a part 1, I could have potentially got around with it by doing like saying, hey guys, this, and done this. I just put the scope part into like say the beginning of the next one. Uh, but I didn't, and I just went with it. Then there was another video. I can't remember which one, but I know there was another. I might be thinking there might be 3, but then there was another that was a Marvel Rivals video that I did try and film last night. And I don't know why. I don't know whether it's the fact of me knocking, like, or just moving. I will see by the end of this room if I am, and I'm, like, still, like, voice picked up and everything. But I don't know, because at the minute, it's potentially a case of I might have to film for slightly longer and readjust my headset and test it at the minute, 45 to 50 minutes. But then again, I don't know. Because, again, part 1 was filmed, but I did knock my headset. Filming last night, I ended up moving my headset because I can't remember why I moved, but I ended up moving it, which is what I use as a mic. Again, for small-time YouTubers, headsets are kind of perfect for this situation, just because you have a headset which you can then use, but then you also have a mic. I have no idea. If it does continue to be a problem, and it does find out, and it does just turn out to be the wire, because I have it wired, because it's basically one that can be wireless, but I don't really want to deal with charging it. So, at the minute, I'm dealing with it like that. If it does just turn out to be the fact of, like, because what I will do is I will test it with Craftmon this week as well, and I will also test it with the Marvel Rivals video that I do plan to record, and we'll go from there. Anyway, guys, things new in the game. I'll say no when the game's like, because I don't exactly actually do loot box first, because the game updated, and I don't know exactly what the update was. Like, I will be honest, I have no idea what the update was. Yeah, that's a duplicate. Because I saw the game needed updating, and I'm like, oh, it does need updating. Also, guys, I'm gonna quickly mention this, but kind of check myself into a thing. I mentioned in the video, I will mention this now, and I will also mention in a couple of videos this week. Spider-Man Brand New Day is either out or it's coming out. Because I think some people, like, I know a few people have seen it early. I think it's potentially out some places on today. I won't be seeing it for a little while. Maybe not until it releases on Disney Plus or Disc. I know it's going to be a good movie, and I know I should probably just go watch it in cinemas, and I potentially might. But again, things and all that lot and stuff I really don't want to get into. Because it's all basically just boring stuff. But same with Avengers Doomsday, I do not want to be hearing spoilers for either. I will just be getting annoyed. Granted, I know spoilers are going to instantly get plugged, and guys, I will mention this now. But yeah, I'll mention it as loading in fact. Like, same stuff, like, they might be new, but I'm pretty sure they've been in for a little while. I'm pretty sure they're returning, because I have seen their skins before now. The main things there, and I honestly don't know what else. Maybe the Summer Games thing, but I think that's potentially been there since the summer. Anyway, guys, what I am going to do is I'm going to jump into a game of comp, and we'll go from there. But like I said, guys, I don't want to be hearing spoilers for Spider-Man Brand New Day or Avengers Doomsday. Now, I know I willingly do talk about X-Men 97, and another example I did mention was I'd be mentioning a few things to do with Cape Crusaders. I mentioned that with the fact of Wednesday because I was like, oh, it comes out the 29th, 31st. I saw several things for the 29th. I saw a few things for the 31st, and this is just a case of misinformation on the internet, which was annoying during the World Cup because a bunch of people had turned around being like, oh, we're going to get a rematch and what? It's like, hold on, wait, is this faking? Like, oh, England are being promoted, and I double checked a few times. It was just bullshit. It was just lies. And I do draw spoiler warnings, but I think I'm more specifically on about is scrolling on TikTok. You shouldn't have to, and I really don't agree with the fact of saying this, but if you don't want spoilers for Spider-Man Brand New Day, or Avengers Doomsday in December, which is a stupid point to come out, it's under a week from Christmas. It is like 7 days from Christmas. Comes out the 18th. And guys, my logic for it is a case of, I don't want to go and watch a film on the first day. Cinemas are generally going to be packed, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And I don't fancy booking. I like being able to go into a cinema and be like, hey, I want to go see this movie. Which is what I did for the live action How to Train Your Dragons. I think it was the 20th when I went and watched that, roughly. And I didn't see K-Pop Demon Hunters, which was on Netflix, for like another week, maybe two. I think it was like beginning of July. But like, I don't want to go see it on open night, so we'll upstate Avengers Doomsday, because Spider-Man's just more of a, I'm not going to go and see it, I'm not going to see it for a while. So that's the 18th and 19th, because I don't want to see it the next day. The 20th is also one of those cases where it's an okay spot and safe for 21st. There was a date around that general area, I don't know exactly what went, like, I am busy, so buggering off from a cinema for a few hours isn't exactly possible. The 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Am I hell? 25th not open. 26th would be a pain, which means actually I want to play. I do want to play a tank. We'll say Zarya Torbjorn. May's gonna be annoying. Which will more likely end up being in the closest, the soonest I'll be able to see something like Doomsday. 28th. More likely New Year's. Because at that point I'll probably be like, it'd be fine waiting for a few days. Mercy, Widow, Sombra, and Rodol, jeez. And I can guarantee you now, half the movie will be spoiled before the beginning of the year. Next year, before the beginning of next year. Why am I in a game of gold? Like, that shouldn't be possible. And I can guarantee you, half the movie will be spoiled. And guys, the reason I say half the movie is because people don't have the same like the comment. Like, I'm hoping people do have common sense because I don't remember Endgame or Infinity being this bad, but I don't think I spent that much time. Either A, like I don't know when TikTok was a thing. Either A wasn't a thing during that period of time. Or B, I didn't have it during that period of time, because I think I installed TikTok during COVID, which is potentially when it came out. This is where I find out the fact of, like, okay, apparently 2016. I didn't know about it until roughly COVID. So, because I don't think I was watching it. Like, I know I wasn't watching TikTok back in okay, so even then, even the fact of, like, it came out 2016, it didn't become popular until, like, 2020. So I don't think I started using it until, like, COVID. Even then, it's just like a nice little case of being able to watch short form content, which every so often is kind of nice. If I have like a spare like 10-15 minutes, I like being able to sort of binge watch a few things, like scroll and, you know, want to binge watch a few things. But yeah, I'm hoping Doomsday is the one thing where people don't instantly go, we're gonna spoil everything, because I can guarantee now someone will be a dick with it and be like, well, time to release everything with Doomsday. I'm hoping not, and I'm hoping someone does. Everyone just turns around and is like, dude, the movie released a few days before Christmas. Have the common decency. And guys, another one I did have a roommate a while ago. I can't remember what film it was. Like, I honestly can't remember what film. I say I've been in a conversation more, because it wasn't a full-blown argument, but it wasn't a frantic conversation either. It was more of a case of, well, if you don't want shit spoiled for you, stay off social media. It's like, true. That'd be the sensible thing to do. But why the hell should I? Why the hell should anyone stay off things like YouTube, TikTok? Because people don't have self-control. Like, again, I have no problem with people posting spoilers for the movie, as long as it is content with the fact of spoiler. So I don't know if TikTok does a whole thing like this, but if it doesn't, it needs one. The thing you're about to watch is about to spoil Avengers Doomsday. Like, you can put the thing, like, I wish it was just a case of, the thing you're about to watch is a spoiler for an upcoming, for a movie that's just being released. Do you really want to watch it? And then it comes down to the consumer. Because guys, yes, you can quickly scroll off, so it's not as big of a problem. But for me, it's like a case of, look, the X-Men are going to be in, say, Doomsday, which we already know, but hear me, like, and it's like, then the video continues going over what X-Men, and it's like, well, I kind of need to know now. Like, I'm hoping Doomsday is the one thing that people don't instantly spoil. I'm expecting Spider-Man Brand New Day. There is one thing I do want to find out for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I give Sadie Sink that she deserves an award for this, personally. She's managed to keep who she's playing in the movie secret. Tom Holland has kept that secret. Whether he was told, whether he doesn't know, which apparently not. Apparently everyone in the movie does know who Sadie Sink is playing. But that's just been kept on the wraps. Now, I will say this now. If this is Jean Grey, I want one or two things in the next X-Men film. One, either there to be a younger Cyclops, because either there to be a younger Cyclops to match a similar age to Sadie, just because I want my it's stupid, but I like my Cyclops and Jean looking a similar age, so that way when the fact that they do become a couple, which more than likely will, for literal proof, 90s they were dating and there was a weird thing with Wolverine. The 2000 movies they were dating and there was a thing with Logan being sort of like Age of Apocalypse. And Dark Phoenix, they were dating. 97, I think they're married. I'm not 100% sure. Just because there was a clone involved, and I don't know whether Cyclops married the clone or whether he married the original, and if they are, is it just a case of... Because I'm pretty sure they did get married in 97, the original 90 series. But I don't think it's going to be a case of, like, which. In that case, I don't think either one of them are that bothered. And, well, I will say this now. I've recently been reminded of that the fact of when Jean came back and we found out the fact of that she was the real one and there was a clone involved. she was going through her memories and decided to try and hook up with Logan. Cyclops has a innocent, well, not completely innocent, but a miniature conversation to do with their mind with the mother of his child. And he then seems the bad guy and gets told, go to Janusa, be with my clone. It's like, hold on, wait a minute. I had completely forgot, like... Whereas the fact of, like, I forgot, and, because again, I have recently saw that Season 1, I don't know if it's just because anytime I see it, I willingly blank out that. Or whether I just put some consideration into Jean, it's like, she does just come back from essentially the dead. Like, she'd been fucked up by Sinister. It's kind of understandable she'd be slightly annoyed. But at the same point, she's not getting a break. Like... But anyway, yeah, like I said, guys, I want my Jean Grey and Cyclops, you know, my Phoenix and Scott Summers to be a similar age. Or to at least look a similar age. And no offense to Sadie Sink, or I did find this out and I have forgot since. James Madison, Madison, no offense to either one of them, I think they both deserve their own Cyclops and Jean respectively. But again, I don't think in Doomsday they're doing Jean. Like, because I don't think it's just a case of the Fox universe coming back. Just for the simple reason of Cyclops was killed by Jean in that universe, and Jean is dead in that universe.
They got the robot.
Like, I don't think it's that. I mean, the actress has mentioned the fact that she was kind of annoyed that she wasn't asked to come back. I kind of get it. I don't fully agree with it, but I kind of do get it. The fact that they're going big for Doomsday, but they will still have a budget for Doomsday. So before they get slashing all their budget on characters that they are then potentially chucking into other movies, and they're just rebooting anyway. I'm presuming it's probably something along those lines. No. I don't fully think Zigzag will potentially be playing Jean, because I think it's the way too obvious answer. And giving Marvel credit here, they managed to get Tom Holland believing the fact that he was going to Robert Downey Jr.'s and Gwyneth Patriot, I think her last name is, you know, have Watson Tony Stark's wedding in Endgame.
Wow, I'm actually on fire.
They knew the fact that if Tom was told the truth, which they can technically treat him like a kid in this situation, which I don't know how old he is. I think he's in his 20s. I think it's late 20s, maybe early 30s. Because that would have been 2019, so I think he probably would have been 20-something. The fact that they were then like, yeah, so Tom, yeah, it's going to be on wedding. Just because they know the fact that they told him it was a funeral, like, they knew it was essentially Robert Downey's ending, like, that he was, like, the Iron Man was going to die, all that lot. He 100% would have let that shit slip. Like, there was no doubt about it, like, that shit would have gone out. And the reason we know it, is I'm pretty sure Tom was the reason why everyone found out about Andrew Garfield being in Far From Home, No Way Home even. What was it? Toby. Like, I found out about Andrew after, but like Toby was one of those where, like, I think they were both kept a secret for a while, but then Toby, I think that one slipped. So I think there was an interview where Andrew's like, no, I'm not in Avengers, I'm not in No Way Home. Which I will say now, I don't think they're ever going to recreate a moment that was so, like, sort of nice, like, so fully, like, 100% full of fans. Because without knowing how much it would have cost to essentially bring both Toby and Andrew back. Granted, they both probably would have been like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't think it would have been the cheapest thing in the world. I think it would have added a decent bit of money to do the whole No Way Home thing, compared to what they potentially could have done. I do also think they kind of shot themselves in the foot. Right, I will do another game because I didn't lose. Because things like Green Goblin, if Tom ever fights Green Goblin again, which I doubt, he's gonna be like, you're Norman Osborn. Same for Sandman, same for Venom. Actually, Venom's the one he wouldn't. So, which is why I do think they probably would end up just doing Hobgoblin instead. Because I will say now, not counting when they brought villains back, the MCU didn't repeat any villains that we saw in live action. We didn't see Green Goblin until No Way Home, when Thingy came back, and I cannot remember his name. We didn't see Electro until then, because like villains we saw in No Way Home was Shocker, Vulture, and I think we also saw Matt Gargan. It's been a while since I've seen that film. And then Far From Home was, I believe, just Mysterio. But I could be wrong. No, and then like Far From No Way Home was Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1, Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, Sandman from Spider-Man 3, Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man 1, Electra from Amazing Spider-Man 2. I kind of think it would have also been interesting if Vulture had then been in that situation where it's a broken out of prison and like being juiced up with something or something, and then had like a true Sinister Six. I would love to see Marvel redo the thing in the future. And if I was to pick what Sinister Six I would want to see for the MCU, Shocker, because I think it'd be interesting. Vulture, Scorpion. Because as far as from the trailer, I think Scorpion does look kind of cool. That's Hobgoblin 3, because that replaced Ned. Did say it would be interesting and he would be dying. Mysterio would also be cool to bring him back. I don't think the actor would. I think he'd 100% return in that Sinister Six format. That's 4. I really do not know Spider-Man villains. Like, seriously. Because, I would say the villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day, but I don't know who it is. Apparently Sadie Sink's playing the villain, I don't know. Which would mean they're going instantly to a Dark Phoenix storyline, or to an Avengers vs. X-Men storyline. Which, say this now, I would 100% be watching that shit instantly. Avengers vs. X-Men, I mean I'd be on the X-Men side. I'd be down for that shit. Like Cyclops like with the Dark Phoenix powers and that would be an interesting story. And a really good movie as long as it was done right. So I'd be down to watch like an Avengers vs. X-Men.
They're making gains. We must limit them to our benefit.
Because I do honestly think something like that would be really cool. Now, I do think at some point we probably will. But what do I want to see before we even go into, like, what do I want to see from, like, an X-Men universe from the MCU? As long as they don't fuck it up. Because I am sorry, Thunderbolts wasn't great, to the point where we're not getting Thunderbolts 2, and a character I do actually like from the Thunderbolts, Songbird. I think Songbird's powers are cool. I think the fact that Screaming Mimi getting a redemption arc is kind of cool. To a character that I honestly don't know much about until the fact I find out that the Songbird. To a point where I don't think I 100% would love to see Songbird. I don't think we'll see her in a Thunderbird 2. Unless we do get like a Baron Zemo like forming like a Dark Avengers Thunderbolt movie. And because the Dark Avengers are also a potentially interesting thing, but a thing that I don't think we will get. Because you have Norman Osborn as Iron Patriot. Well, we've already seen Iron Patriot, so not going to work for that level. Unless Norman does just get hold of an Iron Patriot suit and just becomes the new Iron Patriot. I don't think we're going to see Norman Osborn anyway, because I think it'd be way too suspicious.
I'll try a different approach.
Unless it does just see, a fun way I think they could do a Norman Osborn like big bounce for Pete is if Pete expects him to do something mad, he gets completely wrong, and it sets up like a Green Goblin or Dark Avengers movie. Because then I do think it would be cool. Yeah, okay, I think I'm probably going to do my last game in tank. In like roll queue tank. But like, because like you have Norman Osborn Iron Patriot, which is a cool concept. Mac, like Scorpion with the Venom symbiote playing Spider-Man, which weird but kind of cool. With 6 arms, which I don't completely get. Like, I think the Dark Avengers as a team is a cool concept. Bullseye has Hawkeye. And I can't remember the other members. But like, if you wanted to do like a Dark Avengers team, you could, because you do have some of the pieces. You can have it as a fact of Sam Wilson's trying to set up a new Avengers team, and the fact of him then saying to Bucky, "You're working with a bunch of bad guys. You know, Yelena wasn't exactly the most trusting person, was working for Thingy. So was, not evil Captain America, because that would be, I think that's Hydra. Like, there's a Hydra version of Captain America, which is like evil Captain America,
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
I cannot remember his name.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Who the fuck's calling me out? Yeah, 2-9. Because I keep getting fucked because the team refuses to group together.
Breaking me down just builds me up.
It's Almoira.
You don't look so good. Maybe you should sit this one out and
But like,
kill
then you can just have it as a case of like Winter Soldier being the equivalent of Norman Osborn in this situation.
Did you have a chance to think about my proposal?
I'm not putting explosives on my knees.
Elena very well being the equivalent of Black Widow. Nah, you don't have someone for Hawkeye. But I think Bullseye potentially exists in the MCU at this point. You could introduce him to the team. You could have Sentry be the equivalent of Hulk and Thor.
One. Attack commence.
But like, I think it'd be an interesting concept. I do think it would be fucked up though. Like, I do think they would fuck it up. Like, but I'm not saying I don't have faith in Marvel anymore, because I do and don't. Like, there are parts of me that's like, no, Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be awesome. It's going to be good. It's going to be the best Marvel. It's going to be one of the best Marvel movies for this year. It's going to hold the title up until Doomsday. Doomsday is going to be an amazing movie. But why is it to the fact of that we're only getting amazing and good, like great, like excellent Marvel movies when it's bigger names? Like, I know for the most part people aren't going to care about the Thunderbolts. It's a bunch of villains pretending to be heroes, other than Bucky. And even then, it's debatable.
Cover the payload. We're moving out.
You have the Fantastic Four, which last movie was, what, 2015? So that would have left, and then even then, the movie before that, back in the Age of Titans, was good. Like, I liked both that and Rise of the Surfer. They were both decent movies.
I'll remember that for
I wouldn't say they're excellent, they're good. They're rewatchable. But like, not everyone's that interested in the Fantastic Four. And then you got your bigger hitters like Hulk, who's been nerfed into the ground. Because I'm sorry, we did not need an endgame Smart Hulk. Yeah, have him come out potentially, but then have, like, say, Bruce be like, Hulk, we need your power, we need your rage. And like, Hulk be like, fine, if I do it, I stay in control. And like, we go through like a period of point where Hulk is in control. You know, cool concept. And like, Bruce is trying to fight for control.
Setting out the welcome mat.
Because why in Brand New Day, I'm happy the fact that we're getting, you know, angry, you know, rage monster Hulk. My big question is, what happens to Smart Hulk? Because like, also no, they didn't do much with Smart Hulk. Yes, he was in Avengers Endgame. Yes, he was in She-Hulk. I can't think of anything else.
Okay, I'm ready to go again.
He might have been in Secret Invasion. I don't know. I didn't watch it. It didn't look good. And, but like, that's about it. So, I'd like to know, because in the movie, Bruce Banner, like, is in Bruce Banner form. Like, not Smart Hulk form. And my biggest problem with the MCU Smart Hulk is, isn't the benefit of being Smart Hulk that you're smart, but you've also got the strength, the rage, all that power? Like, everything that is being the Hulk, you've just got the brains to go with it. But we don't really see him at all using that strength in Endgame. Smart Hulk was personally just a bit of a letdown. But yeah, like, Marvel do not get that, like, not like pre-Endgame Marvel movies for me were like, okay, you get the stamp of approval, like, you get the case of this is going to be an amazing movie, even if it, like, before I've even seen it. Now it's a case of, yeah, you're not getting that stamp, you're not getting that, you know, signed up, you know, that letter of, yes, you deserve all this special treatment. Until I've seen it. Because before Endgame, we had things like Civil War, which was good. Like, that was a great movie. It wasn't over the top, it was a nice little movie beforehand, explaining why Infinity War was what Infinity War was. It came out before Infinity War, but it introduced us to Spider-Man. We got a Black Panther movie because of it. It introduced us into Black Panther. and Spider-Man and Black Panther, like Spider-Man No Way Home and Black Panther. Why I've got my own problems with Spider-Man, because it's more like Iron Boy Jr. and it's annoying. That and Black Panther were good.
Nothing stop me. We're outnumbered.
Like, I've kicked myself a few times for the fact of waiting so long to see Black Panther. Like, no offense to Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. I've just never been that interested in Black Panther as a character. The most interest I've had in Black Panther as a character is when he was an Avenger in Earth Mightiest. Outside that, not much. Because, again, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan in the world. Don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of the MCU movies. Not all of them, and I never will. Although, there are now a few movies that I do need to watch before Doomsday. One of them being the Fantastic Four movie, because I think that's going to play about, like, that's going to be a case of, it's going to be, like, you're going to need to know stuff for that, and I will at some point. I might double check how long it is and watch it after stream.
Reality bends to my will.
But like I also have a few complaints with Doomsday.
Okay, I'm ready.
Like, I get that Doomsday would the Avengers for Doomsday, like, in like universe wise, was never going to be as strong as the Endgame team was. You had the Guardians of the Galaxy, you had Black Panther, you had, you know, Wakandans, you know, defense, like tribes and all that lot. You had Captain Marvel, you had Scarlet Witch, you had Ant-Man and Wasp, you had Spider-Man.
Simply unstoppable.
Like, every hero that had appeared in a movie up until that point was in the Endgame battle. You're telling me Thor's now leading a group of wannabe Avengers, because that's what the Thunderbolts are. Like, whether you want to include the fact of Bucky being classified as an Avenger, which personally I don't think should. Cap willingly gave up his right, but so did Falcon. But Pete, technically still speaking, is an Avenger. Tony made him one in Infinity War. It's like, you are now an Avenger.
My power emanates.
And I do think it should be like one of those. Because there are a few people that, like, I will willing to turn up, whether it does bug people. I do think there are a few people that did turn up to the Endgame battle that weren't there as a case of Avengers, but were there just to help stop Thanos. Which is perfectly fine. I'm not expecting everyone to turn up in the Doom Battle to be there as Avengers. I'm expecting it to be a level of a threat that they need to call in everyone they know. Come on, Winston. Winston. Oh, so close. Oh, so close.
Play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and lost both evils. And again, this game proved when dealt with gold players, I can win. When dealt with people, you know, lower ranks than me. Oh, Bastion got it. Not surprised considering he was shredding everything in sight. We'll do a rolls. I'm gonna presume support.
Select a map.
Random chant. Oh, Hollywood.
Select
Yeah, I think Hollywood's probably in my top 5. Larry then.
choose heroes to ban.
I don't want to see Torbjorn. I don't want to see May, and I don't want to see... Actually, Zarya I'm not fussed over. There's going to be no difference between role queue and open queue. Role queue, you have specific... Like, you have a role that you, like, go into, whether it be all roles or whether it be tank, DPS, or support. Like, you're going into one of them, and there's going to be one of each, like, there's going to be a balance. And another big difference is, you have one less player in role queue. Open queue is typically more funner, role queue is typically less stressful. One less player to deal with, and an actual support tank on your team. But like, Avengers Doomsday, it's one of those things where I know for a fact it's going to be an amazing movie and I will love it. It doesn't mean I'm not going to instantly pick the fact of, Thor, you're telling me you couldn't get the Valkyries again. I mean, I understand the one that you had help you when it came to pissing off Zeus probably might still be slightly pissed off at you. But still. Like, I don't know whether Hulk, like, there is a probable chance that the fact that there is a group of people that we've not seen, and they are showing a very small portion of the cast. Because I can't remember what they did for Endgame, because I think for Endgame it was also a case of, they didn't show anyone that had been snapped. And it was just a case of we saw, like, you know, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Cap, Ant-Man.
Attack commence. Capture
War Machine, Nebula. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just those set of people that we did see. And like again, I'm not trying to show everyone, because like if Hulk is in the movie, I get not showing me. If hearing a Spider-Man brand new day, you don't want to give away what's going to happen to him in that. Fair enough. But if this does turn out to be a case of that we are getting an actual, you know, good team, something that can face Doom, then I will be happy. Because I'm sorry that you have like She-Hulk. I get you probably want to bring her back, and there's probably problems with bringing her back, but you could just recast if it's a case of acting. If it's a case of the actresses, like the fact you want to work with the actress again. Because I'm pretty sure the I think there was something, I can't remember what. It's been years. It has been years. And like. But there was like She-Hulk that exists in the universe. You have Daredevil. You have Jessica Jones. You have Luke Cage. Potentially Iron Fist. You have Spider-Man. Like, you have so many heroes that you have access to. I've got a gut feeling things like Spider-Man, like, I've got a gut feeling that Tom Holland will be in Doomsday. I don't see why he wouldn't. Like, I honestly don't see why he wouldn't be in Doomsday. Now, there is a potential chance that he's not in Doomsday, which I can also see why he wouldn't be. For this case, where it's like, it would make sense. He was in Infinity War, Endgame. Like, it would make sense for him to be in Doomsday at the same point. The people, you know, the reason he was in Infinity War because he, you know, he trespassed, you know, Tony told him to go home, he chose not to. You know, all that. He doesn't have that connection with that person anymore. Now, on one hand, there is apparently someone that's supposed to remember him in Doom in Brand New Day. People say Hulk, which it is Hulk in the comics. It wouldn't make sense for it to be Hulk in the movies, MCU wise. Because again, those two never met, like Bruce Banner or Hulk never met Peter Parker, he only ever met Smart Hulk, and even then I don't know if he ever did meet Smart Hulk. And I would say there was a potential chance that they could, you know, get past that by turning around and having, you know, Bruce Banner do like a lecture or something, and, you know, and like a flashback scene, and having Pete, you know, go to that lecture, like when he was in, say, high school. And having say him suit up. No, you'd have to give him the old suit. Like, you'd have to give him his, you know, homecoming suit. Or even if you wanted to go past that, I mean, you can't go past that, so you'd have to give him his homecoming suit. Let's say, you could go like Far From Home onwards, but no, at that point he was Smart Hulk. Like, you could have it so then Hulk, you know, Pete goes and saves the day, Hulk ends up showing up and, like, they end up becoming friends. I don't think they will willingly do it. Which does mean I want to know who remembers. Because other than a telepath... Now guys, I'm going to say no. I have no problem with anything playing Jean Grey. I think it'd be in a full cast. I'm going to be slightly let down though. It seems way too obvious. Now, I don't know if it just seems way too obvious because everyone's like, oh, she's playing Jean Grey.
I don't have time to be weak.
No, soldier, you can't. Actually, maybe. I was about to say, the only person I'm going to say that with, but I don't want to play Mercy. Plus, I don't mind Mercy pocket healing, but I prefer doing it to tanks just because it's a survivability thing where I like surviving and tanks give me a better chance of surviving. And again, they could do it that way, but again, if it is Jean Grey, I think it is just going to be a case where Jean Grey goes, wait, you're Peter Parker? Like, who the hell's Peter Parker? Like, I honestly do imagine it to be something like her going, wait, who's Peter Parker? And it's just going to be like, wait, well, how do you know my secret identity? And it'll be like, wait, you're like, and it's just like, that's how the thing essentially think it might go. Like, I honestly don't think it's going to be more like, because, like, the only people who can remember after the snap, after the mind wipe sort of thing, after Doctor Strange's smell, would be someone who can read his mind, or someone who knew him beforehand, who has a split personality disorder sort of thing. Or has one, not has one. But like someone who, like, for instance, like Hulk would make sense.
When I was in Peru,
But
I found something.
Bruce Banner Hulk is the only one at the Hulks that could. Because Red Hulk was created during Brave New World, during that point in time, like,
They're going to add her to their
because otherwise how did the Red Hulk go unscathed? She-Hulk didn't get her powers until Bruce saved her. And then, unless they're just gonna uncanonize, you know, the She-Hulk series, which I don't see them doing. I wouldn't be that annoyed. But it'd be a lot more work just to get a slightly better thing.
1. Attackers incoming.
No, there's also technically something like A-Bomb, but I don't see them doing that. And discarding it and juicing to the end of She-Hulk. Which is also another reason why I don't see him doing that. Because my question is, what the fuck is Scarf? Like, seriously, where is Scarf? And, like... But, like, I honestly do just want to know who that one person is. Although I don't say now, it's starting to get slightly repetitive of Marvel doing the thing where it's like, we'll eliminate everyone this one person cares about and give them an extremely sad backstory. Thor lost everything. He lost Jane, he lost Asgard, he lost his brother, who is, I think, still alive. He lost Odin. You know, he's lost, like, the Avengers. Like, Tony's died. They were close, but still someone else we have lost. You've then got, you know, Shuri Black Panther, who they're also replacing with Black Panther's son, which I will quickly cover. Why are people pissed about it? Like, yeah, it'd be annoying if they did replace Chadwick Boseman, but again, I would understand. They can't forever keep the name Chadwick Boseman tied to Black Panther, because otherwise, we're never getting nothing else to do with Black Panther unless it is Shuri related. And I'm personally fine with them doing it. Now, I do kind of feel the option they did go with. But I will say now, I would be fine either way. Would it kind of be dishonoring? Kind of, but I don't think, like, I think Chadwick Boseman probably would be like, I want the character to live on. Like, I don't think it'd be one of those cases where it's like, no, you can never do nothing with the character again. Now, as long as they honour Chadwick Boseman through Black Panther and whatever and that lot, I have no problem with it. Because the actor, rest in peace, will always be associated with Black Panther. And I have no problem with the fact of them doing anything with it, as long as it is done in some sort of respectful way. Unlike Wakanda Forever. That setup in her, like, she got, like, Ironheart was just not good. And that was, like, the cooler moments from it, like, it's an okay movie, not something I want to rewatch. Like, Shuri's Black Panther, it's kinda cool. But that coolness kinda does leave pretty quickly. And Namor was definitely cool to see. Not someone who I expected to see in Wakanda Forever. No, I 100% expected to see him in a Fantastic Four because whether he is more associated with something or another, the fact that he has a connection with Sue Storm is what I'm always going to associate him with. But like, those cool moments weren't the whole movie. The whole movie was okay. Like, it wasn't nothing special, which is why it's why a lot of people are sort of like, okay, Marvel, we'll let you cook as long as you do actually cook, and you aren't just going to turn around and be like, yeah, you're going to accept this because you have no choice. Because I 100% would have been fine with that Thunderbolts movie. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I want to see someone doing in the movie, because I think the character is cool. Like, the fact that Spoon Mimi gets enough goes from being a character that not meant, like, personally, I don't think it's that memorable, to a character that then becomes an Avenger at some point in time. and I think it's cool. And definitely would be a unique story. Everything like that. The one annoying for playing around is you feel time on instantly gets destroyed. I know I target them too. But it is kind of annoying when you play a Lowry. To a point where like it does get to a point where I will target them and have no like be happy as anything doesn't on. Then I start playing a Lowry and it's like, yeah, I was happy 2 seconds ago without destroying them. I like the Torbjorn turrets should not be allowed to be placed on objects. They should have to be in open sight. Like if I can make one change for Overwatch, it would be making turrets weaker. I'd make Torbjorns less accurate. I'd make Maze less. I mean, I think there's too much with Maze. They get annoying over time, but it's nothing that can't be dealt with. But I would 100% turn Torbjorn's accuracy down from 100% down to like 70.
10 seconds.
Just because at this point, if no one walking around the corner and Torbjorn means like, I honestly wouldn't try and get rid of Torbjorns in every single game in comp if their turrets weren't so busted. Because their turrets being busted is just annoying. Oh, we have auto aim and we can literally lock onto you from halfway across the map. But like I say, guys, like I know it's brand new and like there's 2 good movies coming out this year, and they're probably too good for a few years. Like I think like 100% next good Marvel movie that will be 100% guarantee will probably be Secret Invasion or Secret Wars even. Yeah, Secret Wars. And like it was, but we'll see, guys. Now, like for Marvel alone, X-Men '97 has kind of brought the joy out of Marvel stuff, like Marvel projects. Like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I think comes back this year at some point. I didn't mind season 1. There was some changes in there that I wish weren't changed. Because, guys, I have no problem with new characters being introduced into TV shows, movies, anything like that. That aren't the typical white male. My problem then comes from the fact of things like Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn were then changed into that, like they were color changed. And I completely forgot about this from Cape Crusaders, because it's been a while since I saw season 1. Barbara and, Jim Gordon had changed. Jim Gordon was like a cop back in like the 60s. He'd been doing the job for 30 years. You telling me he got all the way up there back during those times? No. He had white boy privileges. Potentially. Especially in an era where corruption was a thing. Jeez. I would honestly rather new characters with new backstories, new interesting things about them, be introduced into these projects, than them just turn around and be like, yeah, so we're going to change 2 of the major things, because you want to know whenever they do Green Goblin, it's now going to be a white kid facing off against a black man when you're taking them out their suits. Now, do I think we're going to get Green Goblin in Friendly Neighborhood? Maybe, maybe not. I wouldn't be that surprised either way. Now, like I say, guys, I generally don't care. As long as the project is still cool and like good. And Cape Crusader season 1 was good, and so was season 2. not season 2, so was a Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And the change from Penguin from a small fat penguin dude to a woman wasn't the worst thing in the world. But at the same point, don't try, like, if it's like if they ever try and make like if someone ever does try to like do like a recreation of like the 60s like Batman show, like the animated one, and then they pull a bunch of stuff and it's like nope, because the one thing they can't do is change something like Spider-Man, Batman from male to female, or color swap them, because at that point it's like, well, you do Batman, you've then got Batwoman, Batgirl, or any other female that's put on the Batsuit, or a similar suit to that. You then got Spider-Woman, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Girl, Miles Morales, Batwing. So, like I say, guys, for the most part, I don't care. Like, for Invincible, didn't know until I double-checked. Until I went looking, until I found out the fact of comics that they were. I say the only thing that does slightly bug me is probably the tech jacket thing, because in the comics, Invincible and Tech Jacket have more of like a, hey, like a sort of more of a bro role sort of thing, because they're similar in age in comics. I kind of get why they aged it down. They wanted like a woman part of like that team, because in the comics, the team that fight the Viltrumites, you've got Battle Beast, Invincible. I forgot Invincible's brother's name. It's hard saying it's on the tip of my tongue. Like Battle Beast, Invincible, Nolan, Oliver, Tech Jacket, Alan, and you did have thingy was voice acted by Optimus Prime, him. None of those are female. Well, you can't change Invincible, because that would change the whole show. You could have potentially changed Oliver, but it seems like a pointless change. You can't change Nolan, because again, it changed the whole show. At that point, how the hell does Mark have, Viltrumite powers? Especially since like Debbie was the one that gave birth to him. You could change Battle Beast, but I don't think it would make a difference. You can't really change Alan, and unless you chuck someone in there, you kind of got to change Tech Jacket. Plus, a lot of this was a case of like they didn't change back then, and because of that, they had to change the newest character that was introduced. So it doesn't really bug me. Like, I didn't know about Green Ghost being male in the comics, or that Amber was white in the comics. None of them bug me. Like, Green Ghost was saw for a split second, so it makes no difference to me, and I don't like Amber as a character either way. She comes as a case of, and she always has as, you can't go and save people because I need you here. I can't trust you because you are lying to me. I'm sorry, but if I was going out with someone that had, like, I would be slightly pissed, which she gets a right to be at being lied to. But I at least would be like, I get why you didn't tell me my secret identity. I'm thankful that you can trust me now, and I promise I won't tell anyone. But you've got to understand I am slightly annoyed that you've been lying to me for this period of time. I would get it, at least. I'd be annoyed, but I would understand. Honestly, the fact that, Adam Eve and, Invincible getting together couldn't have happened soon enough. Like, I honestly, that would have personally saved Season 2 for me. Because, at the minute, for me, it's Season 3, 1, 4, and then 2. Because Season 4 was good, Season 3 was good, was better, and, Season 1 was still good. And now I'm at the phase of, I've seen Season 1 way too much. I'm back to a point where I'm like, yeah. Because, annoyingly, when Season 2 came out, I binge-watched Invincible, 10 times in a row. It was the only thing I was rewatching, and because of that, when Season 2 came out, I was like, oh god, I don't want to rewatch Season 1. And because several years later, several other seasons coming out, and actually taking a break from it and not getting instantly hooked, Because guys, I did like there were several shows I've done the same with. Superstores I watched more than once. I've seen from season 4 upwards of Blue Bloods twice, in back to back. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry for chit chatting for too long. If you are new around here, please like, comment, subscribe. If you are watching this later, this is Tiger signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.